world. Welcome back to the Guy Stuff Podcast. I am your benevolent host, Anthony Claiborne, joined as always. Yeah, benevolent, right? I'm full of love and
full of something. Full of something. I'm not sure if benevolent would be what I would call it. But
can you say it? Can you say the word? Can you say the word?
Benevolent. I can't
benevolent. Not to be confused with malevolent.
So you can't say malevolent. I can't
that
say
was
it either.
Hard,
malevolent.
man.
Malevolent.
But, we're excited, myself and my brother John, because today is what we are calling our holiday kickoff special. Holiday
KP.
kickoff special. Now,
that's KS to begin. The K petal, the kickoff petal.
K-O-Pectate. So that said, we want to get this right out of the gate.
Yep.
We do say Merry Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
When we say holiday, we're thinking about the root holy day.
Yes.
And we bring together Thanksgiving and Christmas as we talk about the holidays. We're going to share with you today. Go ahead, John.
No, I was going to say there's a lot of holy days that we don't, as Western Christians, we don't really just jump off into. Like, how many Jewish feasts that we don't do? We don't actually do holy. How many holidays would we have if we would recognize it and go, Jesus fulfilled it, but we still celebrate it.
So we got to celebrate it. Like awesome. Hanukkah.
Hanukkah, Yom Kippur. What's the other one? The Feast of Tabernacles, which is Yom Kippur, right? No, that's not. I think it's. I can't remember.
Right now, somebody is typing feverishly in the comments. John, you're wrong. You're wrong.
I wish somebody would actually comment in the comment section. We can interact. There's 3 people commenting. That's it.
All right, let's talk about that a minute. I mean, we're going to jump into this a moment, but this is a good opportunity just to chat about some things. Fellas.
Sorry. You had to look on your face and make sure it's what happened.
Fellas, comment. Jump on the interact on the Book of Face, interact on the YouTube. We getting kind of, we take a little time to chat with us. We want to hear from you. So as we think about the holidays and Thanksgiving especially coming up, we are thankful for some very obvious things, so we just want to get them out of the gate.
Knock them out.
We're thankful for our wives.
Yeah, that's number one. Well, actually, not number one. It's actually number 2. Jesus would be number 1, right? We have to
count down, I guess.
We have to go that, because it's like saying when we did the movie episode, man. It can't be Star Wars and Indiana Jones. You gotta throw them out off the beginning. You're like, that's a given. Now let's move on.
That's right.
So that's our 2.
Our wives and our families,
yes,
who we love very much, and our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for real. Those are obvious. So we're gonna take them and we're gonna put them in a little box and sit them over here, and we're gonna share with you today the 5 things. Each of us is gonna have 5. So for my friends out in the West, 5 plus 5 makes 10. So
in case you can't count, you just go 1, 2, 3, 5, 12.
Notice that I say where it said West. West could be anywhere.
Could be.
So very non-committal on that. So we're going to share our 5 things we love about this holiday season the most. And just full disclosure, some of them a lot of these are not going to be uber spiritual, but John and I have a take on that, and I'm going to let John share what it is.
Well, I mean, God, I think it's okay with us enjoying things, just to enjoy them. They don't have to be uber spiritualized. Now I do say that everything is spiritual, has a spiritual connection, but not everything has to be spiritualized. Like these amazing boiled peanuts that I got to make today that I'm devouring on camera, which I don't care because it's freaking boiled peanuts and I ain't had none in a long time.
That's right.
But God says, you know what? Enjoy them, Joker. All that salty goodness. Let's eat the shell too. Make me happy. Ain't nothing spiritual about that.
God likes it when his kids smile. We have a father, and he does like it when we enjoy things that he has created.
And not your crappy father one too. Not your father that was like beat you when you said something.
He is the father.
Oh, that was a horrible one. Oh,
not the one that didn't show up at your games and all that kind of stuff. This is the kind of father that we all wish we were, which is why we're doing this. John is choking on a peanut.
See, that was a bad peanut.
Apparently, we were wrong, and
yeah, God's like,
he's been stricken. He's been stricken. We're not allowed to eat and enjoy the bull.
Oh, speaking of enjoying something, I found a new thing that you'll like.
Keep it family friendly.
I mean, it's kind of family friendly. I found something you may like. You may check it out. Right? Everybody knows that I love pipes. I love cigars. If you can't tell by the hat, I love pipes and cigars. I'm just saying. I'm reformed.
Yes, he looks like an extra from the Peaky Blinders right now.
Exactly. So the idea I found out, I was like, if I like tobacco, and it's hard to get cigars here. It's really hard to get cigars here. I was like, what if I start blending my own herbs? Not herb.
Yes.
Herbs.
Herb.
Right? So I went and got some oregano, and I got some herbs, like actual like cooking herbs.
Not herb.
Yeah.
Herbs.
Yeah. Got some oregano, some parsley, some clove, some bay leaves, some thyme, some rosemary. Mixed it together, put it in my pipe, and lit it. It was good. It was really good. It's better than
let me get this straight.
Mm-hmm.
You're smoking the Spice Rack blend.
Yeah, Spice Rack blend is good, man. I'm telling you.
Maybe we should package that for Devil's Dowry.
I mean, if you blend some stuff up, man, there's like a market for people that like will smoke herbs. and if you make like they don't blend it with oregano and stuff, but like there's like these mullein blends and stuff that people do.
Fascinating. Yeah. So does it have carcinogens? Like, would it give you cancer?
No, it's just it's like herbs. I mean, anything you burn is going to have a certain amount of carcinogens in it, but there's no tobacco. There's no
John does not inhale.
No, heck no. If you inhale a cigar, you're not a cigar smoker. I'm sorry. You just killed every bit of flavor in that. You just addicted to nicotine. Go get a cigarette. The same thing. Get a cigar. So anyway, yeah, you don't inhale it. But you get it for the flavor, the taste. And I was like, well, it's good, man. It's so that there's probably very, very low risk to it. It's better.
I wonder if we could apply like some of our Devil's Dowry hot sauces to it.
Oh, that you burn your nose out. But anyway, so talking about enjoying stuff, I was enjoying. I mean, like blending my. Like we had to go get stuff for Thanksgiving today at the store, and I'm like in the spice rack looking around like, I wonder if I can smoke that.
Oh my Lord!
Put that in there and try it.
So what do you cook for Thanksgiving in Thailand?
Oh,
depends. I know some things aren't accessible.
Yeah, like we try to get turkey. Turkeys are very expensive. Like today, there's only one store you can get turkey at here in Chiang Rai. And it's a butterball pre-cooked turkey. And it's only like 7 pounds, 8 pounds, something like that. So it's about like that big, So it's a big chicken. And so that costs $100 for that.
$100 American?
$100 American, yeah.
Not 100 baht.
No, not 100 baht. 100 American, 3,000 some odd baht. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So what you do is you have to catch them like a year in advance. Like when this year's stuff's going out and you catch it when they mark it down like half price, and then you get it for like $50 and then you get it. So that's what we usually do. Like, so we have a turkey. We're going to actually have a turkey this year because we bought one last year, and put it in the deep freeze. And yeah, so we usually, if we don't have turkeys, if we can't catch it right or whatever, we just get chicken. Get some rotisserie chicken.
Chicken can be cooked well.
Yeah, carve it up, put it in there. Do that. We do alligator swamp. What's that called? Green bean casserole. That's it.
Ooh,
swamp. So we do that. Get a little bit of that. We do.
Wait, you call it you call green bean casserole alligator swamp?
Yeah, alligator swamp. You never heard they call that before?
Mm-mm.
Isn't like.
Let me guess. That's a Mississippi thing.
That's a Louisiana thing.
Louisiana thing.
Yeah, that's what my former stepmother would call it all the time.
Interesting. That's pretty
Alligator swamp.
interesting.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah, because it's like you got the little green beans popping up out the
I see that.
cream stuff, the alligator swamp.
So there's like two prevalent green bean casseroles for my friends listening around the world that we eat in the southern United States. One is like onion mix based, and the other is like Ritz cracker based. Which one did you guys do?
We did the onion based, man. Onion stuff. You got to have onions.
Those are good. I know. I'm really I like the Ritz cracker one the best though.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Like when we first got married, we used to cook that junk like all the time. Like I think it's weird. It's like certain foods will kind of like they have their, this kind of time period, then they kind of die off a little bit and they'll kind of come back. That one was cooked like every church function you showed up. There were like 10 of them things there, man.
Oh, you're going to have some green bean casserole somewhere on it. I'll tell you what.
Are you even a church if you don't?
Yeah, you have some green bean casserole has to be somewhere on that thing. And that's something too that potluck, church potlucks and Thanksgiving have in common. You got to get a plate so full that everything mixes. Like you can't. I never had a Thanksgiving plate nor a church potluck plate that was actually segregated. It's all just mixed in. And see, you ultra spiritualize that. It's how the church is supposed to be. It's all mixed together. No separating out.
No segregation. Everyone together.
Exactly.
Yep. We could. That's good, Jeff. That's really good.
And a little Jesus juke. Got a Jesus juke.
Yes, we are the kings of Jesus juke.
But yeah, like so the other one we always got to have, and then and so green bean casserole and dressing. Got to have dressing. Got to have cornbread dressing.
Well, I'll tell you, since we're on Thanksgiving, then we'll jump into kind of the holidays. Thanksgiving that we're in, Christmas. My go-to for Thanksgiving, like my favorite thing is the turkey's good, but the two things that like I look for the most is a good dressing. I would absolutely eat the daylights out of that dressing. And the canned cranberry sauce that just plops out in a form like if you're exactly if your cranberry sauce doesn't make sounds when it drops out of the can, what are you even doing? Are you even having a Thanksgiving?
If it don't have the lines to tell you where to cut.
Yeah, exactly. That's what those lines are for. Oh my gosh, I love that stuff so much. So much. I was actually listening to another podcast recently, and I'm kind of telling myself here a little bit because I listen to some food podcasts, and I was listening to Chef Vivian Howard, who's from my hometown of Kinston, North Carolina.
Shout out Vivian.
Shout out to Vivian. But she was talking about how even in their house, as a great cook as she is, the cranberry sauce, like that's what they use. And so I felt so vindicated.
You gotta have that. That's the best tasting cranberry sauce. I like the whole cranberries that you get, like if you're highfalutin and you got money, you have like the whole cranberry. I mean, it's okay. It tastes all right, but it don't have that same like just uber sweet
sound.
If
it doesn't sound like that, it's not Thanksgiving.
It's not there.
Santa doesn't even wake up until he hears that sound.
Exactly. Until that can is just ripped open and then.
All right. On that note, we're gonna jump into our top 5 things about the holidays.
That's like me coming on my lacquer shirts after jiu-jitsu.
Oh yeah. Back in the day, like how I guess they still do this. Wetsuits have that long thing. They should put those on rash guards.
Yeah.
Pull
it out, man.
Get choked with that thing. So if I may, I'm gonna start off with mine. My number 5.
Go ahead, man.
All right, my number 5. And full disclosure, I actually partake of this particular Christmas themed treat all year long. All year long, I do this. But one of the things I love about this Christmas season is peppermint mocha. Oh man. I I love peppermint. I love peppermint anything.
Yeah.
Like we use a lot of, if I'm to full disclosure, we believe in medicine. We don't not use medicine.
Not
But we use a lot
Scientology,
of
not Christian Scientists.
nah. But
Not Christian
we
Science.
do use essential oils for some things, and so my wife had a headache last night, and she had put some peppermint oil on her forehead, on her temples.
I don't want to know
And
what else happened after that. I don't see you
well,
like with
well,
image you like
what it was
licking your
I
wife's head.
came in the living room, and I kissed her on the forehead because she was seated, and I didn't know she had that stuff on her head, and then my lips were numb. I was like,
you're there like licking her head.
But peppermint mocha, man, that smell, there's just something about it. And they'll do it for you all year long at that particular restaurant with the green lady
Really?
on the sign. They'll do them all year long, but only at Christmas time do they put them little sprinkles and stuff on top of it, make it just right.
Man, that's the only time, literally the only time I go to Starbucks is for Christmas time, right after.
Don't be sending us no hate grams because we go to Starbucks either. Because
I only go there once a year, and it's because of the peppermint mocha. And it's why I don't go once a time a year. And this time of year, like I've already been like 3 times this season. And
how close is your nearest Starbucks?
Actually, we got one that's about 30 minutes away to us. It's in our town. And so,
man, look, if the church took on Starbucks planting model. I mean, there's a Starbucks in the Forbidden City of China, is my understanding. I'm not even kidding. I've been told that there's one right there at the Forbidden City, like not inside, but like right there. I mean, Starbucks is everywhere, man. You cannot throw like they got more reach than the Mormons.
Man, it's because I mean they're crazier than the Mormons, so it's all right, and so they're a little bit nutty. I mean, so that's the only reason I would go there is for the peppermint mochas. And the only place I can get decaf coffee. I can't have caffeine, so I have to get decaf coffee.
You don't drink? I didn't. Wait a second. As long as we've been talking, I don't think I've ever heard you. You've never told me that.
No, I don't drink decaf.
You can't have caffeine.
I can't have caffeine. No.
I drink. Is it heart?
Yeah, like that. Back when I had a low heart rate, right?
Okay.
And so it doesn't bother me. Like I've had it since I was 20. Like my resting heart rate usually is around, like it'll get down like in the 40s, like low 40s. And then it just all the way up anyway. So, but I don't have any problem from it. But I was having some issues when I was like 20 something. So I went to the doctor and they're like, oh, your heart rate's a little low, blah, 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 everything. You may want to stay off caffeine just so it doesn't mess up, and it may be nothing, whatever. And so I was like, okay, cool. So I haven't drank caffeine since I was, since I was in the 20s. Now I will drink tea every now and then. In the past, since I've been doing this stupid no sugar keto thing, I've been drinking some non-sweet green tea that's roasted that tastes amazing. But that's about all. That's about as much caffeine.
Are you also smoking it?
No, but I should.
You should smoke green tea.
I should smoke some green tea. You can do chamomile.
If you're gonna smoke oregano.
Yeah, oregano. Not that good. I mean, it's all right. It's all right. Smoke. It smells like oregano and parsley. Smells like weed. It smells like weed.
I'm not even gonna go down this road. All right, what's your
your camera just like Jesus is like,
yeah.
Shut your mouth.
He's gone. What's your number 5, man? What's your number 5?
Oh, my number 5. My thankful thing for this time of season is cooler weather. That's one thing I'm so thankful for. The changes of seasons, right? When I was getting ready to leave to come over here for the first time back in 2010, I had a couple like, oh, I'm sad about leaving my family, oh, blah, blah, blah. I never had a moment of crisis where I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do this, until I was driving around. Me and Sessa would go every Saturday morning. We'd get up and we would ride back roads and let Chrissy have a break. And me and Sessa would go ride back roads, drive up to a little market, get some boiled peanuts, some ice cream, and then drive back roads back home. Right.
Nice.
And it was like middle of October, starting to, like, the leaves were starting to change a little bit, and like a couple of them were on the ground, and it was cool enough I could roll the window down and just drive out the AC on. I remember looking out and there were some little leaves just kind of flew across the road on this little back road, and I went, I'm never gonna see this again. Oh my God. And I just freaking lost it, man. That was my crisis of faith before I moved over on the mission field. And it was around the change of seasons. And that's the biggest hurdle I think I've ever had, was with it not having seasons at all here. And then, but thank God he put me in northern Thailand, where it actually does get a little cooler. And so our coldest it gets is like early fall in Mississippi, time frame. So we'll get,
So 80.
Yeah, like it'll get if it's a cold day, it's like high 60s, low 70s, and then at night down in the 40s. And so
Wow.
that's a cold day and night in Thailand.
Well, seasons, man. I love the change of the different seasons, and seasons are so important to our lives. I mean, we even use that analogy all the time. We're going through a season. I'm going through a season. This is just a season. Seasons, Jesus, the Jesus juke is coming, right?
Oh, here we go.
Those seasons are so important for real, in all seriousness, and to our mental well-being. The changing of seasons, wherever you may live, is good for you, because it tells you, it kind of shifts our focus, certain times of the year,
Yeah.
You think about, in a way, Halloween kind of ends summer for everybody.
Yeah.
It really, for at least in the South, Halloween kind of ends summer. We want to know what we think of Halloween, go listen to our episode with Dr. Heiser.
Yeah.
So that kind of ends that, and it literally, the joke is at midnight, boom, Christmas everywhere. It does start that season of giving, which is tough for those of us who own insurance agencies, because because nobody wants to do anything. It's too much, but it just gets our focus. We start to think about family and kind of nostalgia, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. And then you've got, January is like the month of Mondays. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like the worst. It was like all dark and blah. But then February comes along and starting, if you're in the South, it's starting to even warm up again. And spring, summer, all just seasons, man. Which, you say you guys don't have seasons, but I know you actually kind of do. You just, they're just like rainy and dry.
Yeah, it's sucky and suckier.
that's your seasons.
Yeah. And that's the kind of thing that's hard there. But like I said, thank God that you live up north where actually can get cooler weather than like Bangkok.
So you're a Thai Yankee.
I am. What's the crazy thing is how it works here is basically flipped. It's like, so the northern people are really, the northern Thais are like the more hospitable and like welcome you in, and kind of more like South in America. And the southern people are more kind of like the uppity kind of like, like not as hospitable, and not known for it as much in Thailand.
Interesting.
Yeah, because it's more bigger cities, more
maybe
bigger.
It's just
cities.
you.
Maybe
you be like that, then you move there.
Maybe like no. I mean, it's like how it is, man. Like, yeah, because like up here, it's that's one thing is like, even people in the South look at the North and go, oh, it's a bunch of Banoks, like rednecks. It's like, oh, Banok, these hill tribes. It's it's everything. It's like, oh, it's rednecks.
So we need to start like a Thai redneck brand of clothing, like Habo, and call it Banok.
Banok, yeah, Banok.
You think that would sell?
It might be out, maybe, but to them it's like, you just country, you just kind of stupid. So,
that's funny. Maybe not that.
We can do it in America, like Banok, be like,
yeah. People think it was all shishi.
Well, that's what they got, the stupid those flip flops, those Sanuk flip flops. You ever seen those?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that just means fun, and so it's like, so Sanuk
fun flops.
Yeah, fun flops. That's all they are. People go, oh, they're made in Thailand. It's Sanuk. It's cool. Or they wouldn't even know if they would call it like Sanuk. I want some of them Sanuks and some Sanuk flops.
right.
Anyway, next thing, number 4, go.
My number 4 for me, I had to lump all these together.
Okay.
Movies and television specials.
Mm.
All right, movies and television specials. So, movies and television specials hold such nostalgia.
Yeah.
For us. I mean, like I remember, I remember seeing Elf in the theater, right? But now Elf is like, is it even Christmas if you've not watched Elf?
True.
Then like Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad. I mean, like absolutely hilarious. These are classics. And then like the Charlie Brown TV special. That's like the one time a year that you can count on the TV networks actually having scripture read on television.
Isn't there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about? Sure, Charlie Brown. I can tell you what Christmas is all about. Lights, please. And there were in the same country shepherds, abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them. And the glory of the Lord shone round about them. And they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not. For behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. Ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host praising God, and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men. That's what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown.
For now.
Yeah, it's for now. Till that becomes offensive and whatever. Well, that's the thing is like, I think it's a disservice that we've given our kids, and it makes me mad. It's a blessing and a curse, right? So we can go, oh, kids don't understand like the idea of having to wait until Christmas to see Charlie Brown Christmas special, to see the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, to see Rudolph, the claymation Rudolph, the best.
I'm gonna tell you something about that in a minute, Rudolph.
All right, we'll go into that one. But I mean, that was like you said, that's nostalgia because like you had to like when you would see the trailers come up for it on like Channel 3 or NBC, you're like, it's or CBS when it come on, you're like, oh, it's Rudolph's coming on, I'm gonna watch it.
Make way for one of America's favorite characters. Can one tiny reindeer save the day on a stormy Christmas Eve? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Tuesday at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
Kind of thing.
Yes.
And I was like, 15. He's like, I'm gonna watch it because you couldn't go and just randomly watch TV. Couldn't randomly watch what you want to watch. You had to like wait. And I think it's a disservice, man, that we do in our kids. So they can randomly grab stuff.
Well, everything's instant. Everything's about instant gratification. It's like, I can download that and watch it on my phone while I'm going to soccer practice or whatever.
And you can't enjoy it. You can't enjoy that with all the commercials.
Oh yeah, or my favorite, limited commercial interruption.
I'll tell you this. This is one thing. So everybody that's out there right now, if you want to get a little nostalgia, especially about the Christmas, what I do is you go on YouTube, and there's a couple of channels you can watch. It's like a Retro Vault or something like that. But you can type in 80s and 90s Christmas commercials, and it's all the Christmas commercials that come on, and it's amazing. It is like I want to like just get a movie and like an 80s Christmas movie like Rudolph or something like that, and then put my own commercials in there and then watch it that way. It'd be amazing.
I want to tell you what I do along those lines when I'm sitting here working in my office during the Christmas season.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to do this when I was a school teacher. I always played music for my kids in my classroom. Music is super important. I'd use music to change the mood in my room. And so I will listen to 1970s Kmart Christmas. 1970s Kmart Christmas.
I'll play some. Well, I will put some in right now.
Yes, right here at this moment. Let's get them right here. So we were along those lines of nostalgia, we were working in, we have a home office, and I'm very thankful for it. And we have a lot of books. We don't even have all our books out. Like the office has floor to ceiling, wall to wall shelves that a friend of mine built. And I was in the office last night organizing, dusting, because it's got dust and jokers bad for me, and adding some books. My father-in-law recently went home to be with the Lord, and I got more books, from that, because he's given me a lot of books. And so I was playing Christmas music, right? And I was playing Christmas music. I had one of those stations on, like I was just talking about, and Rudolph came on. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer came on.
Man.
But it was Rudolph. It was like the very beginning of if you've seen it. And if you've not seen it, what is wrong with you? But you better, unless you're like in a jungle somewhere listening to this on a transistor radio, you better see Rudolph.
I don't know what we would have done without Rudolph to pull us through. Anyway, Rudolph? Could it be that some of you are not acquainted with the story of Rudolph? Well, pull up an ice block and lend an ear. Now, you know how Santa uses these flying reindeer to pull his sleigh. You know Dasher, and Dancer, and Prancer, and Vixen, Comet, and Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen. But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all?
So I was working, and I was listening, and that came on, and it was like that whole, monologue by Mr. Snowman at the beginning. It was that whole thing. And dude, like without any kind of warning, I got teary-eyed. And it was because I had like this flashback. It was like I was sitting on the couch again beside my mom, watching it as a little kid. And she went home to be with the Lord about 5 years ago, but she loved Christmas, dude. She loved it. She was a baker chef, so it was a busy time of year for her. Yeah. And dude, we had so many flipping candies and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it was ridiculous, the candies and the cookies and things that we had that she would, bring from her shop, and just so many memories. I love the specials. One funny story real quick about that. My father-in-law, who's a pastor for, ever, I think he pastored Noah, but like he loved Christmas specials too, Christmas movies. And he made the comment one time, and he'd only seen it on television. He'd only seen the edited television version. He made the comment that his favorite Christmas movie was Christmas Vacation. So for Christmas that year, someone gave him, this was back in the VHS days, somebody gave him the VHS copy of Christmas Vacation. He'd never seen it. He'd only seen the TV edited version. And so he put that joker in and was watching it. It was like, whoa, what's this? I don't remember this in the movie. I do not remember this in the movie.
That is one of the best Christmas movies of all time, though. Christmas Vacation. That's up there with Rudolph, like an Elf. 100%. Like you have to watch that Christmas Vacation.
Something nice, Clark.
Exactly. I'll tell you one thing. It's Rudolph the Red-Nosed. Have you heard my rendition that me and Brian did 2 years ago, 3 years ago? I don't know what it was, of Rudolph.
I have. It was amazing, and I think right here is a good place.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shining nose, and if you ever saw it, would even say below. All of the other reindeer down, won't you get on my sleigh? And how the reindeer again, and they shouted out with me. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you go down in history. You go down in history.
Hey, listen.
So you can hear. That was amazing.
Technology.
Exactly. But anyway, so yeah, like, so that's one of the things that, you know, that takes you back, like those songs and those nostalgic moments, man. That does take you back to, like, mine is watching Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and putting up the Christmas decorations on the tree.
Oh yeah.
And I remember, like, I guess because it gets my fourth thing or whatever, would be decorating the tree, man. That's one of the things I love doing. Is
It's not on my
decorating the tree.
list because I don't do it anymore. We trained our kids to do that.
No.
And
Oh man, I love doing it. They mostly do it now, but I love just like hanging stuff on there because there was one this old fat Santa. My mom kept all the old ghetto from like the 60s and 70s and 80s and
I love it.
You know, those kind of things. But there was a big fat ugly Santa that was my favorite ornament for some reason. And I remember being a kid hanging that on the tree. I remember that vividly, like hanging that. So it was just one of the things that pops back when you start to hear, you know, is decorating the tree and thinking back that way. And even with our kids, you know, doing those things, it's a good time.
You bring up an important point. See, I feel like, and I know everybody's got their own kind of tree. And if you've got a real formal frou-frou tree, we're not dissing your frou-frou tree. God bless you and your frou-frou formal
What's a
tree.
frou-frou tree?
You know, when it's like themed, like you know, all the ornaments match. It's like,
oh yeah.
You know, all the ornaments match, and it's like, you know, like you know, that kind of thing. That's cool if that's what does it for you. That's fine. No, we're not hating on that. But for me personally, like our tree, we have the big retro looking bulbs, and we have, you know, the ornaments. Like there's ornaments on there that we made as children.
Yeah.
And it follows, you know, our family like story. And every year we buy the kids an ornament that like is centered on what they're into that year.
Yeah.
And so that goes all the way back. And you know, there's soccer ornaments on there from when I was a coach, and there's guitars and pianos.
Dora Explorer when you were in your Dora Explorer the phase.
Well, that was just last week.
Did. That's what I'm saying, you know. It's like, did it, Dora.
Dora,
No, they did a live action version of that.
I've heard that. I remember seeing the trailer for it when I was a movie, when you were still allowed to go to movies. I really missed that, by the way. But
freaking communist, United States of communism right there.
It seems horrifying to think of a live action Dora.
I saw a trailer for it. I thought it was a joke. I literally thought like, oh, this is like a fan fiction kind of like imagining. No, that's real.
Yeah, it really happened.
I was like, so I want to watch it just to see.
I'll take it a step further. What's really crazy for you? Like I was watching Sicario, Day of Soldado. It's one of the movies in the Sicario line of movies. You know, it's like drug cartel.
What is Sicario?
It's like basically like, you know, United States government trying to fight drug cartels, stuff like that. It's very interesting. You know how Amazon does that deal, like it's like got all these facts about casts and movies and stuff. Anyways,
man, I don't have Amazon here, dude. You talking to somebody that lives on the other side of the planet?
Sorry, that's right. I keep forgetting that you live in a box.
Yeah, I have Netflix. I'm a Netflix box. That's it.
But apparently the gal who played Dora played in that movie, and I was like thinking, I was like, that is quite a stretch in your range there, kiddo. That's impressive. So no,
that's crazy.
So apparently Dora's cray.
There you go. All right, so number 3 for you, man. Moving on, number 3. That was what's number 3 there?
Number 3.
Yep.
Is a little bit unique. orange rolls and orange slices.
Orange. What the crap's an orange roll?
Orange rolls. Those Pillsbury orange rolls, man. Like every Christmas morning growing up, my mom would
look this up because this is
you got to. In fact, maybe we'll put it right here.
Yeah.
Pillsbury orange rolls. We would have that every Christmas morning for breakfast because it was simple and it was sweet. Orange rolls, man, those are absolutely one of my favorite things about Christmas season. I don't ever eat them any other time of the year except Christmas season, and we always to this day my family has those and coffee for breakfast on Christmas morning. I'll get up and I'll crank them up and get them rolling and get them ready and cooked for everybody. The other thing along that line is orange slices.
I do know orange slices.
I love me some orange slices. I've actually already had me some orange slices this season.
That's like the circus peanuts of Christmas, man. It's like how you eat those things all the time, man.
I can't even look at you right now. What?
I'm saying.
The circus? How dare you compare orange slices to circus?
It's the same
peanuts.
It's like the byproduct of the same process. It's like what they make candy corn out
Angel's
of,
tears.
And then they're making candy corn, and then the candy corn poops out the orange
slices. Orange slices are made
and
they are congealed angel tears.
I'm gonna have to disagree. Maybe some demonic, like some fallen angel tears.
Oh my gosh! And you can't eat one
because it's got cocaine sprinkled on it.
You gotta eat two, dude. You were just talking about making your own herb blend and smoking a while ago. Don't even.
I'm just saying. Like, you look at the orange slice. It's got
herb.
Like, what is that sprinkled on top of it? What's that sprinkled on top of it?
Azúcar. It's sugar.
It's cocaine. That they tell you it's zucchero. It's zucchero. No, it's freaking cocaine.
It's probably
cocaine.
Sugar is probably more addicting.
Probably.
It's amazing, man. What I've always wanted to do, and I'm going to do this sometime. I'm going to dip an orange slice in chocolate.
See, this is one thing I do love. There's these things that actually that goes into my Christmas thing. They have these things called orange, chocolate oranges. Chocolate orange.
Oh, I love those.
And they're like a ball. You have to like boom, hit them, and it breaks open. Oh, them things are amazing. I love those. That's one of the things that I do for Christmas. Like I got to have that in my stocking, or it's not Christmas kind of thing.
Well, I see it. Orange slices are always in my stocking, or it's not Christmas. My wife does that to this day because my mom did that.
Oh,
growing up, that's one of those little things that was always in my stocking was orange slices. Yeah. So my wife makes sure that I have those. Very sweet of her.
Oh, so sweet. So sweet. So that's number 3 for you.
I like orange and chocolate together, period.
Yeah, orange and chocolate. Dude, I would tell you what changed your life forever. Get you some good chocolate ice cream and get like a orange Fanta or some kind of orange soda that you love and make you a float with that. Oh, dude, it is on. It is amazing.
I should make an orange chocolate barbecue sauce.
That may taste like butt.
Now, grape soda sauce tastes amazing. I'm working on that. That's good. That's good stuff.
I've never had grape soda stuff. I don't like grape soda, though. I can't deal with it.
I thought you were from Mississippi.
Yeah, and I can't take freaking grape soda. I'm like, I can't take it. I hate it. It tastes, it's like that. I used to drink it. What was it? It was knee-high. You had a knee-high orange.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Knee-high grape. Yeah. And it was, sorry, I had a message pop in. Yeah, knee-highs. I drink, but knee-high peach was the only one I like. Knee-high grape tastes like somebody, like, I would drink it, but it literally tastes like somebody just, like, ate some grape juice and then ate a bunch of sugar and then peed it out into a bottle, and that was knee-high grape, which was horrible. And it was
very blasphemous.
I hate it, man. I
don't
like that drink.
You mentioned Fanta a while ago, just a few minutes ago. Did you know Fanta was originated by the Nazis?
Really?
Look it up.
All right, we gotta look it up. We're going to have to put that one up, like making some bold claims.
No, it's a known fact. Fanta was originated by the Nazis.
They just speak. The Nazis started speaking Spanish. We're like, oh, we're gonna make some Fanta.
It's not Spanish.
Sig Heil Fantas.
It's not Spanish actually. That was a retcon the company did to try to, make
Get away
it
from
okay.
Nazism.
Yes, it was. Fanta is a brand of fruit-flavored carbonated soft drinks created by Coca-Cola Deutschland under the leadership of German businessman Max Keith. They did it. Fanta originated as a Coca-Cola substitute during the American trade embargo of Nazi Germany, which affected the availability of Coca-Cola ingredients in 1940.
Man.
So the commercials back in the day, like the movie theater, the trailer, like before the trailers would always be like, "Hola Fanta, don't you want?" What they really meant was "Cigarro Fanta."
Our three German listeners are like, screw you guys, I'm done.
We love you. We love
Exactly.
you. We know it's not your fault.
Yeah, we know you're not Nazis. We think you're not Nazis.
There.
We're hopefully you're not Nazis.
We don't hold World War II against you
Exactly.
at all. We promise.
Exactly.
That wouldn't be fair.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I just ran that one off the side of the road. Like, let's
unscripted.
Let's get the winch and pull it out. Anyway, it's hard to go places from Nazis.
Nazi soda.
Now what we're thankful for in Christmas, not Nazis. How about that?
We are thankful for O Tannenbaum, though.
Who?
Oh, Christmas tree.
Oh, yeah, that one. I don't know.
All right, you're up.
Yeah, so another episode is coming up here in a couple weeks. We're gonna be talking with Dr. Michael Heiser again.
Again.
Because
he's our friend. He is
our friend now. I think after the third time, if he makes it through this one, if he makes it through this one and doesn't disavow us and those kind of things, then we're considering him a friend. I'm calling him my buddy. I'm like, you're my friend now.
We love you.
Yeah,
we love you. Doctor.
And so anyway, we're gonna be having a talking with him about. We're gonna talk about like when was Jesus actually born, and one of the things we're gonna talk about. the roots of is Christmas tree. Are Christmas trees pagan, or they're gonna talk about some things like that and see. Hey, where's it go? Like where? Because you have a lot of crazy stuff going on. Like even Christians, like you can't have a Christmas tree. Well, is that true or is it not? And we're going to find out and talk.
If you can't have one, I'm in trouble because we got more than one.
Exactly. But we do. We're going to talk about that. So that'll be something that upcoming episode we can get into here soon. My number two. My number three, right?
I think at three.
Number three. I'm thankful for Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Oh, I love it so much.
I do. It's one of the things that I miss. That's another nostalgia thing.
5,000 people participating in the parade, not watching, in it. The Cabbage Patch Kids part of them, and they have their playground today. Have you got something for me? An apple. You are sweet. Hey, the Cabbage Patch Kids are out the best in the business. We appreciate them so much in the new NBC series. That's my favorite network. And, of course, Coleco's favorite little fellows. So join us for fun and games. It's always a good time. And also, stay tuned. There's more to come. It's exciting. These girls play street smart offerings we got right here. All of them will sing and dance and act as well. They are part of the group Kimiko Gelman, Bridget Michelle, Keisha Campbell, Locke Nagar, and Heidi Ziegler. They're the best.
Every week we go to school, learning our lessons. That's cool. I did numbers, math's my bag. I like writing. What a drag. Now science, that's me, and history books. Home economics, it cooks. But the words we like to hear the teachers say. School is out, we're on holiday. Fun. We got fun.
And what I do is here is I get it and record it, or I get it, I bootleg it from last year, and then play it this year, and then watch it while we're cooking Thanksgiving.
I think we're all going to be watching last year's this year.
Yeah, it's like everybody's bootlegging it. Are they actually going to have one this year or no?
They have said what they're having is a reimagining of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day
Which
Parade.
is going to be a bunch of like pink-haired people with like masks on walking.
I have no idea what that even means.
Yeah,
a reimagining.
It's going to be
but
bad.
I'm sure it's going to suck.
It's going to suck. It's going to be done. It's all going to be done through Zoom.
The whole thing.
But
here's the thing about the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Does anyone actually really watch it? Or is it just on in the background while you're making your stuffing?
Yeah. But like the kids watch it. Like, and I'll sit down and watch it, like, oh, okay, cool. And then I'll go do some stuff and I come back down, what's happening? Okay, cool. It's like a football game that way. I'm not actually interested in watching the game, but it's just there. But
I love all the lip syncing artists.
Yeah, those are always funny. Those are always funny. I like to watch when the balloons act crazy and start like slamming against the buildings and stuff. That's really kind of fun.
I saw a picture of a balloon of some interesting balloon things. Maybe we could insert some interesting Macy's Thanksgiving Day balloon things right here for my friends listening rather than watching. You'll have to use your imagination.
Yeah, there's some interesting things. Yeah, that's one thing. So Macy's is Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. That's one of my bucket list things I always wanted to do was to go and just see the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade live.
Of course, you wouldn't want to go right now because they basically looted Macy's back this summer.
It's like nothing. It's just a why.
Yeah, I actually, this is going to sound weird, but true story. I got my butt pinched in the Macy's elevator.
By the doors or by like somebody in the thing?
By a little, by a child. Let me tell you what happened. All right,
we're going to cut this part out.
Yeah, you can cut this part out. But Sherry and I were there, and we were in the elevator, and this little girl reached over and like pinched me. I don't know what in the world she was doing, but it was so funny because her mom, they were English. And her mom was like, you cheeky little devil, keep your hands to yourself. It was so funny. I was like going, New York.
Yeah.
Okay.
I tell you, like, when I went to New York one time, right? I actually went and walked around New York. And I've been to a lot of different places, a lot of different countries. And every city I've been to, I went, I could live here. I could imagine myself living here. I can go, I could see it. I could see the appeal. Until I went to New York. And I was like, ain't no way in the world I could imagine myself living there. Because maybe because my own nostalgic view of New York was shaped by two things: Sesame Street and the Cosby Show. And when it didn't look like those two, I went, maybe
the Cosby Show was recorded before a live studio audience.
Yeah, and so I wanted to go see those places, but I didn't.
I completely understand. New York is one of those things, one of those places that which I do want to go in Christmas time.
That would be cool. I really do. That would be cool. Go to Rockefeller Plaza.
A lot of our views of it are shaped by what we see in movie and television, and they're not 100% accurate. I found the people in New York to be, every time I've ever been, really polite and very helpful.
I will say one thing though.
Not recent days notwithstanding.
Yeah. Chrissy got locked. Like, so we were trying to figure if, like I said, we've been almost most major cities throughout the world. We've been there, at least in some form or fashion, right? And so we've ridden subways I've ridden subways and trains in Japan and Korea, Amsterdam, all over the place, right? And it was fine. I didn't speak the language. I couldn't read it, but I could follow the maps. I could figure out, okay, this is where I need to get off at. Very easy. Until I went to New York City. And that was the most confusing freaking subway system I've ever seen in my life. And so just trying to get in and out, Chrissy got like locked out, like went the wrong way and went in. And so I'm on one side, she's on the other side, have no idea how to get there. So Chrissy's like, man, can somebody help me? Like, figure it out. People are walking by, boop, boop, boop. We're like, and nobody. And then finally, this one guy stopped and was like, "Oh," and helped her out and figured out how to get around. But it was like nobody cared. So I was like, yeah, a lot of New Yorkers kind of don't really care. So that was my. I mean, that's probably not.
So you're kind of jaded.
I was jaded by it.
I did hip bump a nun on the subway in New York.
Intentionally.
Intentionally. Now, let me tell you what happened, though. Let me tell you what it was. So we were rushing to get on the subway car, and I had Sherry by the hand and was kind of pulling her through the crowd, And this little nun, bless her heart, right? Because we're from the South, so that's what we say.
Mm-hmm.
She got on the subway, and the thing was like basically packed. And she gets on, and she stops in the door. She just literally stopped. And I heard the air brakes like letting off, so I knew that door was about to shut. So I literally bumped her. I literally just like bumped her, and then yanked Sherry on. I was like, "Oops, sorry." But it was the closest thing to a date she'd had in 30 years.
Exactly.
So it was okay. It was all right.
You know,
she had to go confession after that.
She'd be like, this sexy man bumped up on me. But
like in the club.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So yeah. So that was my third. What was your second one? What's your second one, Anthony?
Oh, number 2.
Yeah.
Number 2 is actually the great family get together.
Oh.
So
you just said family. You can't do that one, man. That's excluded.
No, the whole family.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you can't say family.
Like my wife's family. I can't talk about my family.
Man, that's it. No, that's the whole point of every holiday is your family. You can't be like, oh, that's not thankful for my family. It's like saying, oh, I'm thankful for is Jesus and the apostles. Let me talk about you like, of course, well, okay.
I about family a while ago. I say about my immediate family, like my wife and kids.
I don't about any family. That means that's all encompasses. Mama, papa, aunts, onion, cousins, everything.
You have to exclude them.
Yes,
that hurts.
They excluded, man.
Exclude them. All right, y'all are out.
Exactly, you're done.
Then that's easy. Then my second, my number 2 is kind of gone now. But it's still a memory, and it's going to come back when I'm a pawpaw one day. Shopping for the kids.
Oh yeah.
Mine are 18 and 22 now, so it's not as exciting on Christmas morning around our house.
Yeah.
Honestly, folks I'm always the first one up, making orange rolls, coffee. Everybody else is sleeping in.
Yeah. Nobody cares but Dad.
Because we usually stay up really late anyway, watching movies. And so everybody's like sleeping in. And I'm like, I want to wrap presents. But Santa doesn't come anymore. He doesn't come to our house because our kids are older. So, but when he did, that was the best, man.
Yeah.
I remember this one night that we stayed up all night long aiding Santa, putting together one of them darn Thomas the Train tables.
Yeah, see, that's what I don't like.
We had the biggest fight of our entire marriage, I think, that night.
I'm telling you, man, because that's just Satan's hour.
We were nobody not feeling peace on earth, goodwill toward men.
Nope, that should not happen. Nope. I have been up many a nights till like 2 a.m. trying to put stuff together, and I'm like,
in China.
Yeah, and I'm like, why in the world? This is not good. And so,
I wonder if we have any viewers from China.
Oh, I haven't seen any on there. I mean, I know. Shishini. What was I gonna say?
See, we're multi-talented. Y'all like say we just break out languages like it's nothing. We act like we dumb, but we educated.
It's not a that. My number 2. Right.
Not your actual number 2, please. I
was like, oh man, I've been number 2 for 4 days straight. It sucks. What are we talking about? So where was that number 2? My number 2 is camping. So this is gonna be my number 1, number 2 thing. Every
Christmas
year,
camping.
Yeah, every year since we moved back from Thailand.
Okay.
After Christmas, we go camping. We go camping for like 4 days, 5 days. We're out in the woods, away from everybody, everything. Like we were in Virginia, first time.
That's just what they tell their kids when the rent check don't clear.
Exactly. We got to go in the woods.
We're camping.
Exactly. In a few days. Now you got freaking 7 kids now, so it's like there's a lot of rent checks not clearing. Like all the kids' toys are like all secondhand. We're like, hey, y'all leaving? What you got? You got kids? What they got in their bags? Huh? Anyway, so
stop and frisk the highway.
Exactly. Yeah, so like we go camping. So one of the things we do, But we in Virginia was the first year we'd moved to Virginia. We weren't able to go home for Christmas. It was the first Christmas back in Thailand, back from Thailand, and then we were actually not around family for Christmas. And so we're like, we want to go do something. We need to go, have any friends. We didn't have a church really at that point. We were just still trying to figure stuff out. And so we're like, what are we going to do? And this is right around almost New Year's after Christmas. So we're like, let's go camping. And so we just went up and into the George Washington National Forest up there in Virginia and just found a little spot and went off in it and camped for about 3 days and just had fun. It was great. Watched the New Year's in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the mountains in cold weather, just chilling. It was great, man. Cool. So ever since 2012, that's what we do. Every year Christmas we go camping. Yeah, we go Christmas camping. And like here, yeah, because what we do is like here we drive up about 2.5 hours, 3 hours into the mountains here, and you actually get fairly cool weather. Like on a really cold night, you can get in the high 30s if you catch it just right. So it's enough to have a fire. It's enough to be cold. And
now, can you camp like just wherever you find when you do that you're like, okay, this is a good spot?
No, it's just a little bit different because there's certain areas like you're able to because everything's like last year we were going up and we had our beater truck, which thank God we don't have anymore. We have this truck still, but we don't have to use it to go up the mountains because we had our beater truck and we're driving up and like we're getting up there and so we get to this military checkpoint, which is up on the border there of Burma, Myanmar and stuff, and they're like, all right, can you get enough clearance to go up the road? We're like, yeah, should be fine. And he's like, all right, cool. And so we go up, another, probably a couple kilometers up. And all of a sudden I look down and my heat gauge is like, I'm like, oh man, stop, look, hose is busted. So we have to come back down to the police station, to the checkpoint, the military checkpoint. And we're like, hey, can you send somebody down, go get a mechanic, come fix it? Like, yeah. So I said, it'll be about an hour. All right, cool. The next day, the guy shows up. So we were literally, we just camped out. Like we're gonna camp by the military gate, and they were like, that's too dangerous. We're gonna bring inside the military base, like which we'll say a base. It's like a fort. It literally had like just a bamboo fence, and so. And like
the military's high tech.
Yeah. And so they just brought us in there. We put our hammocks up, camp right there. And so at the military base, and then like the next day about 4, the guy showed up, fixed the part. And then we drove on up to the place and found another place on the side. But yeah, there's certain spots you can camp and can't camp. And they'll run you off sometimes if you don't, if you're in the wrong spot. So, yeah. So anyway, so this year, so now we found a spot last year, or year 4 last. No, it was last year. We found a spot that's the highest campgrounds in Thailand. So it's like around 3,000 feet, I think. And so it's nice and cool and cold and but it has roaming, like just wandering cows that just wander through the campsites. And so
feral cows.
Yeah. It's like 2 a.m. you hear coming through the campgrounds, and they'll start like licking on your head and stuff, trying to sniff you out and everything. So yeah, it's not very. That
sounds like supper.
Yeah, interesting. Anyway, so that's my number 2. It's camping on Christmas.
All right, yeah. All right, Christmas camping. I like it. Mm-hmm. Well, that brings me to my number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And some people don't like this. Some people they're not a fan. They're like, man, we got too much going on this day. I don't like doing this. Like, but I love Christmas Eve service.
Really?
I do. I love Christmas Eve service. This year, I've been asked to play a fairly difficult piece on guitar. So that we're working on that right now. So pray for me, because most of the stuff we play in church is not uber difficult. Because we're 1-4-5. Relative minor.
You got the Trinity, right? You got the Trinity.
But this is a little bit more difficult, and so, but I love Christmas Eve service, man. There's just something about gathering with your brothers and sisters and your family, and it's definitely harder, if you will, on those of us who are, the band and then praise teams and choirs and whatever, we got to be there a lot longer than everybody else. But I don't know. There's just something about it that is just, you can just feel the hope.
Yeah.
That the Christmas story is all about, because, and I don't want to say a whole lot because we're going to talk with Dr. Heiser, but just the beauty of that, the culmination of that story. We know that obviously December 24th, 25th, probably not when Jesus was actually born. We get that. We'll
find out. We'll find out.
We'll find out with Dr. Heiser. We'll talk more about that. But setting aside those seasons and just, I don't know, Christmas Eve service, man, I enjoy it. You kind of, for those of us who are involved, you work hard, you celebrate with everybody, and you can just feel the hope and love in the room. And then you go home and you watch Elf and Jingle All the Way and drink cocoa and eat candy until you want to puke.
Yeah.
What's not to love about that?
Yep, I think it's good, man. I haven't had a Christmas Eve service in a while, so I do miss that. I miss having that really, 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 really tight bond with church, with church family. I'm not saying we don't have a good family here. The saying is, like, there was a different bond that we had at our old home church in America to out here, because everybody's is kind of doing a lot of different other things, so you don't really get that centralized family in each other's business every 5 seconds, kind of thing. Because
we call it the minutia. Yeah. It's a fancy way of saying we all up in your business.
Exactly. And that's what I miss. Like my church family back in Mississippi. Hopefully some of them listening right now. I mean, they're my family. Like, they're literally like, I loved being wherever, anytime the door was open there, I loved being around them, because it was just enjoyed being there. It was family. And I do miss that. I do miss that a lot. And hopefully that will continue to grow here. My number one, my kids' anticipation, the excitement that my kids have from.
You said we can't use family.
I'm not saying that my family. I'm saying their anticipation.
All right, I'm gonna let it go.
Their anticipation that it makes me excited. Like, because the littles here, they have no idea what Thanksgiving is. I don't even know what it's about. They're like, we're having Thanksgiving on Thursday, and we're like, you're going to eat? I'm like, yeah, we're going to eat, and blah, blah, blah. All this stuff. We're going to have family time. We're going to have all this stuff with our friends and hang out. And and so they're getting excited about it. They don't even know what it is, and so. And this would be
exciting.
Yeah, and they get their second Christmas this year, and so they're like, no, that's around the corner. And so, that anticipation makes me, get a little more excited as well, and kind of get, because sometimes it took a few years for us to kind of get where holidays felt like holidays here, because they're so far removed from everything that is your culture, that you go, it never feels quite the same. And so once we started having more kids and getting like in our traditions made out and kind of what we want to do, that's when stuff started feeling like it's back to holiday season time, and having the kids' anticipation in that really helped. And so anyway, that's my number one is just the anticipation that I see my kids having. It gives me anticipation and hope. So
anticipation is a good thing. The waiting is a good thing. And there's even the anticipation of giving a gift. Right now as we record this, my wife's birthday is tomorrow.
Oh, happy birthday, Sherry.
I have the most Mac Daddy gift for her.
What is it?
I can't say.
This ain't gonna be put out until.
All right.
I guess she'll be getting it tomorher morning. What time are you giving it to her?
Yeah, she'll I'll tell her not to listen to the podcast.
Okay.
So her dad passed, back in September. I wanted to do a memory quilt for her. But the turnaround time on a quilt was like 4 months.
Yeah.
Well, we were at a pop-up event with our brand, and there was a lady who had a tent over there, and she had these really beautiful aprons. And so I talked to her, and I don't know if you can see that. I'll send you a picture to put on the podcast.
All right, cool.
I'll do it right now.
Cool.
I talked to her. I took I got all my father-in-law's dress shirts when he passed, and watch me accidentally send it to her, right?
Yeah, like, hey, you like this?
And so I'm like texting it to you, man.
Cool.
So I took one of his very beautiful blue gingham dress shirts, and this lady made for her a like a khaki apron with his dress shirt is the piping all the way around
That's
and
cool.
the pockets and the the thing that and like
That's
then
sweet.
she embroidered on it. He used to say all the time, "It is what it is," and so she embroidered on it in a blue that matched the blue gingham. It is what it is, Papa Fred. And so like
That's awesome.
the idea behind that was not woman get in the kitchen and cook me something.
Sure
The idea behind that is with us coming up on Thanksgiving this week and Christmas, her dad's not with us.
Yeah.
That's the way as she's doing stuff in the kitchen, and I'll be right there beside her in my Batman apron because that's what I got. But it's a way for him to be close to her through the whole season.
That's awesome.
So I'm excited. I'm dying. Like I have the hardest time keeping secrets about presents. But
there you go. Anticipation, man.
Anticipation.
That's anticipation, man. That's a good thing. That's the thing that enjoying anticipation. That's one thing that I'm learning, and I've learned, and I pray our guys learn to enjoy the wait. Enjoy the moment. Don't rush through the wait to get to the end.
Jesus juke, boys.
Exactly, man. Because that's
true.
It is. It's completely true. Like, because even how I had to learn it was through teams coming out here. And it goes back to that loneliness. It goes back to being away from people and not saying, oh, missionary, whatever. I'm saying is that when people started coming out, there's this anticipation that, man, I want to hear, come on, hurry up and get here, hurry up and get here, hurry up and get here. And you just kind of want to fast forward, like that movie Click. You want to fast forward to the ending, right? And then we get here and then it's gone. Then they're gone here for 10 days, 7 days, and then they're gone. You're like, man, you're missing them. And so one thing that God taught me through that is enjoy every moment, enjoy the anticipation, and enjoy those moments that lead up to the gift, and then enjoy the gift, and then you'll actually have more fulfilling time after the gift, kind of thing. And so that's what I kind of look at, even in our life with straight Jesus juke, with anticipation of return of Christ.
That's right.
We want to hurry up and get here. Let's sit where we're at and enjoy where we're at and do what we're supposed to do while we're waiting. And then
that's right.
And then when he comes back, it's gonna be so sweet. It's gonna be so sweet, and I'm hopefully sweet to watch people's teeth get shattered, because that's what I want to see some people do. Like Jesus shattered their teeth. I've been reading Psalms. I've been reading Psalms lately, so I'm like all in the Jesus shattering teeth mode right now. But anyway.
Jesus is an MMA fighter.
Exactly. But anyway, yeah.
With a tattoo on his hip. King of Kings, Lord of Lords. That's what some of my friends say. Well, guys, look, we have enjoyed this time just to hang out. This is our kickoff to this beautiful season of Thanksgiving and Christmas. Do take time for your family. We all work hard. But when you're with them this season, be with them.
Yep.
Stay off your phone.
Yeah.
If you're going to watch football together. But if watching sports takes you away from your family, then cut the daggone TV off.
DVR that thing.
Be with your family because you do not know how much time you have with them.
Amen.
There it is. Well, God bless you guys. We will see you on the next exciting installment of Guy Stuff. And I believe I'm correct. We're going to be talking about how to navigate the stress of the holidays with your family. God bless you guys. Talk to you soon. Peace.
Peace.